Hello, Madeline. Dawn here. I'm on the old Kern Canyon Road, leading me up to Durwood, back in deep in the sequoias. We need to talk. And in over 8,800 days, you've never had a sit-down conversation with me, and neither of any of the girls. But what happened yesterday just tore me to the essence of my soul. When you chose to get divorced after that incident that you have not been honest with people about, this is what I told the attorney. Do not fight, defend. He asked why, and I said I'm smarter than her. She's a smart woman, but she is so misguided. If we fight, I'll win, and I'll destroy the family, because that's the object of fighting, is to win. But if we defend, there'll come a day where my daughters realize who I am is who I am, not what they perceived I am because they chose to take sides. That was interrupted about 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been 2 years now since Rachel had a raging moment and has taken the boys from me. Of all days, it was Easter Sunday, 2021. She was hungover, and she did not like the idea that Sandra was taking pictures and videos of her kids. So she got there, and you could tell she was froggy. And I went down the curb and said, "Hey, sweetie, what can we do about taking these pictures and videos?" She went upside down, instant on, started screaming at me. Such vulgar things. I walk over to the front steps again, and she just won't let it go. And I said, "That's it, I'm out of here. I don't have to take this." So disrespectful. You wouldn't beat your dogs that way if your dog had killed your child. I got up to leave. She hadn't stewed enough. She follows me to my car. I get in my car, the window's down. She's on the door sill, screaming inside the most vulgar, hateful things. That's the last time I've seen the boys. I decided to have a go at it for a moment, and I wrote Rachel a letter about how I have grandparent rights, and if she wants to do this, I went through and I was ready to pull the trigger. And then I realized Rachel has the same temperament that you do. I put the skids and the brakes on that, stopped the communication. Look how harmful this behavior is to my grandchildren. Look how harmful all this behavior is to my daughters. They were never remotely this way when I was in the mix. And when they needed help, you should have gotten over your pride of stepping in it. Say, "Dawn, I need your help." The few times you did, I was right there. 66 late mortgage payments. Over 60 court filings, and only one by me about my daughters. I can just imagine how financially you really burned through it. But why? You brought crazy people in that were angry at me because they were such narcissists. I dated her, Jean Slayton, for a couple of months, maybe. And I heard from her date who contacted me. Bruce? Yeah. How appalling June was when she told him who it was. And you walked my daughter down the aisle. You didn't tell me about her graduating from school, so though I persisted, and brought my cap and gown over to the house. When she got married, didn't know it. When she moved, didn't know it. When she had trouble in her pregnancy, didn't even know about it. And when those precious little babies were born premature, that's the last thing you should not have done. I didn't know about it. Took me a couple years into the move before I found out where Gina lived in New York. Didn't know about it. Rachel, high school dropout. Smarter than smart in a high school dropout. An attitude that just is beyond thuggery. It's hateful. And Laura, an emotional mess and carnage. Why? Because your decisions interrupted her emotional maturity. 12 years old. And you did nothing about it with all of them. You let them bicker. At what point are you going to get enough? So real quickly, I'll go through this. Yesterday, I had a meltdown when I thought Laura had died or was in serious harm's way. No response to texts. No responses to voicemails. No responses from you, Gina, or Rachel. Nothing. I had to call the fire department. They don't do that. Call the police department. But she's not in the Saginaw Police Department. So they transferred me to the Fort Worth district. We'll see if we can get there in the hour. I explained the urgency of her having MS, which you've never told me about. Oh, you did. You said, talk to Laura. She has MS. I heard that you and Laura have not seen each other since November. I don't care what the issue is. I don't care if she was 100% wrong. In part, your tutelage has created the very beast that you despise. They're all so precious, and you've driven spikes into all that preciousness. Even Gina with her photography. I gave her the I with the AE1, the A1, the F1, and she learned and taught that I to capture that instance. Rachel was scary smart. She should have been a mechanical engineer working for me until she kicked me out the door and said, you can help me now. And Laura, such a creative, fun-loving spirit, you destroyed it. Her and Mark Twain walked parallel paths, and you destroyed it because you never encouraged it. This is pragmatic. This isn't Dawn deciding to unload a bunch of flame on you, Madeline. Look at the results. You even accused me of being a child molester just out of rage. Whew. How do you think all this indoctrination, which it is, has benefited my girls, your girls, our girls? What you have done is so morally wrong. Look, when one of us dies, what is going to be left to them under your tutelage, guidance, and direction. To not talk to your daughter who has MS in 7 months? Whoa! I even called and left a voicemail for your sister Marcia, saying she's the expert. Please call Laura. She's never called her. This is the Marcia who I got into the delivery room under fake, I don't know, I might panic. The head nurse knew that, so did the doctor. We talked and laughed. They said, okay. I got Marcia to come into the delivery room of the birth of our daughter, Laura Nicole Lyon. When it came to cutting the umbilical cord, I said, you do this, Marcia. She said, no, this is your responsibility. I said, no, let this be my honor. I could care less about the umbilical cord. I wanted my daughter's health. Are you seeing yet the destruction that has occurred? Our girls deserve better. secret moves. How horrible. 3 times. And through all this, even when you had desperation, living in Simi, you got tears coming down your face and said, what's the matter? I need $5,000 today. I'm pretty sure it was lawyer related, because I'm pretty sure they claimed every nickel that you had into the house. What a shame. Because the girls and you could live there till at least Laura was 18 and longer. I didn't want that disruption at the house. But I got you to stop crying. And I said, I'll be back later. It was like 10 o'clock. I came back and drew $5,000 out of business revenue that I should have paid on bills, because my billings are running 90 to 120 days late. I handed $50 $100 bills in your hand before 1 o'clock. And your reaction was, I don't know when I can repay it. And I said, we'll talk about that later. But you keep that promise. Well, you kept the money, you didn't keep the promise. And then you secretly moved to Texas. Do you have any idea how fragile Laura is emotionally and mentally? And now you've got Rachel having a go at her. You have Gina having a go at her, kind of a go, I don't know, but somebody's always having a go at each other.